Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything, the channel likes to try anything so you don't have to. Today's video is a tutorial video about the CASIO AE-1500WH, which has a module number of 3502. So to kick things off, the first thing we'll talk about is the actual display and what each of the pushers do on this digital watch. What you have here is two pushers to the left, which are these metal pushers, and you have two pushers to the right. Now each of these pushers do separate things to the watch depending on the mode you're in and depending on what kind of thing you're trying to accomplish with this watch. So for example, here what you have here is mainly the adjust button here. This one allows you to cycle through the modes on the watch. This one here allows you to activate the backlight illumination, which I shall show you in a bit, and that one there allows you to start and stop if you're in the stopwatch mode of this watch. But they also do other things depending on which mode you are in. So the next thing to talk about is that display, and as you can see, it's a very nice large display built into this watch. So what you can see at the top, I mean obviously you've got the Casio wording, you got that it is water resistant, which this watch is to 100 meters or 10 bar. You've got the day of the week, you've got the month within the year, and you've got the date within the month. Now underneath that you've got the hour and you've got the minute. Now depending on the time, so for example that was in 24 hour and this is now in 12 hour. So if you've got it in the 12 hour format, you've got the P indicating PM, what would be an afternoon time, and if it is an AM time there will be no indication of P. Now if you wanted to activate the 12 and 24 hour, I might as well just quickly show you here. In the main timekeeping mode, you just tap the start button at the bottom right hand corner just here, and if you want to put it back in 12 hour mode, you just tap it again, and I'll just quickly show you 24 hour mode, 12 hour mode. So that gives you an idea how to just quickly swap between the two time formats. And just to finish off the rest of the display, it does indicate that you got 5 alarms and you have the seconds situated at the bottom part of the display. Now to the right hand side, what you can see, what's just flowing down the actual display to the right hand side, you can see what would be a second indicator here. So it goes up to 10 seconds and then as it goes back down it will count down 10 seconds again. So it's just an indication of what would be seconds that have been ticking past. Now the rest of the display, as you can see towards the bottom, you've got indicators here which tell you which alarms are on, and I'll show you how to do it later on in the video. And also obviously, as you can see, you've got the water resistant marker here for 100 meters. And that's it really, that's the display in the nutshell with 12 and 24 hour. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to operate that light function here. Now I'm going to move the watch over to the left, and what I'm going to show you here is just to the right is the illumination happening, just so you can see how it looks in darkness and semi-darkness. But to activate the light, it's as easy as just pressing the light button here, and as you can see you've got two orange LEDs down to the bottom of the display, to the left and to the right, and again I'm just pressing it again, but you don't have to keep your finger on the light button. It does have a 1.5 seconds duration for the illumination to be activated. So as you can see, I'm just pressing it here, and that's how to use the light. There is no you can't change the illumination duration, it is mainly just that one as I've indicated there. Right, so with that out of the way, the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to adjust the date and time on this watch. And the first thing to say, this doesn't, you can't turn on or off daylight saving time. Just in case you was wondering, this watch doesn't feature that function. So just to change what would be the date and time on this watch, what you need to do is press that button to the top left hand corner where it says adjust, and keep your finger down, and what you'll hear is a little beep, and then the seconds will start flashing. Now to reset the seconds, you just press start, and that allows the seconds to be zeroed off. Now the one thing I will say is that if the seconds are over 30 seconds, then it will add the value of 1 to that. So if I zeroed it after 30 seconds, it will say 12:21. Now to move it along, you just press the mode button, and that means you can adjust the hours. As you can see here, I'm just going through the time, and if you want to quickly go through the values in which the hours can go up with, you just keep your finger on the start button and it'll start flying through, as you can see there, or you could just press it once just to go through it 1 hour after another. Pressing it again will allow you to go through the mode button, and again you can just press the start button at the bottom. Now you can only go forward, you can't go backward. The light only just activates the light button, because I know on some Casios the button at the top tends to go backwards and the button at the bottom button tends to go forwards, but in this case it's only forward. So let me just pop it back to what would be 12:21, and again I'm just advancing through the time, and then if I just release it nearer the 21 minute marker, and it's as easily done as that. Now the beauty, obviously, that this display is massive, so you can see everything going on very clearly. Now again, to advance it onto the year, this watch has an automatic calendar built into it, which goes up to 2099. So once you've set the date, you can kind of forget about it. To adjust the year while it's flashing, you just press the start button, and that'll fly through the amount of years up to 2099. Pressing it again one more time will allow you to adjust the months. So again, let's just change the months, and then let's go back to what is when this video is shot on, would be the 19th of July. One more time will allow you to change the date within the month, and then pressing it one more time will allow you to go back to the main screen with the seconds flashing. Now if you are in any part of the adjustment, you can just come out of it by pressing adjust, which I shall do just here. And what you'll notice is on the top left hand corner, it hasn't allowed you to set the day within the week. Now as I say, it is because that this watch has an automatic calendar built in. So as long as you put the date parameters in correctly, then the day of the week should be reflected correctly in this instance. And that's how you set the time and date on the CASIO AE-1500WH watch. Right, the next mode to show you how to operate will be the alarm mode on this watch. So you just press it once from the main timekeeping screen, and this will be the screen you tend to be presented with. Now you have AL at the top indicating the mode you're in, which is the alarm. Here you've got some dashes, and what that means is you can be more specific in what kind of alarm you want. Now all I'm going to show you how to do today is how to set the daily alarm, but if you go to the instructions that I've linked to below, you can be more granular in the alarms that you can set. So you can set, as well as a daily alarm, you can set a date alarm, a 1 month alarm, and a monthly alarm. So there's quite a few different alarm types that you can set, but just for speed for this video, I'm just going to show you how to set the daily alarm. The other thing to be aware of is that this watch also includes what would be 5 alarms built into this watch. One of them does have a snooze option, which is, I believe, alarm 1, and also you do have an hourly signal, which I'll show you how to activate. The other thing to mention is that you can also test the alarm, and that can be done by keeping your finger pressed down on the start button for what would be about 3 or 4 seconds, and it will start to beep. So just if you want to test the alarm, you can do so by pressing that button there. Now the first thing to do is how to activate the alarm by turning it on and off. So in this instance, you've got it on, it's at 12 midnight, and it is the first alarm. Now I can cycle through them by just pressing the start button at the bottom right hand corner, and as you can see, that's the hourly signal. That's daily alarm 1, well, alarm 1, alarm 2, 3, 4, 5, and back to the hourly signal, and then back to alarm function 1. Now to what would be activate it, you can press the adjust button at the top left hand corner, and what you can see there is just a little indicator there over alarm 1. Now that means that this watch will go off at 12 midnight every day. But if you want to turn that off, you just press it again. Now if you're in alarm 1, it'll activate what will be the snooze option, but if you press it one more time, it turns it all off. Now if you're going to what would be alarm 2, because this one doesn't have a snooze function, all you do is just press the adjust button and the alarm indicator will be on, and if you press it again, it will be off. So if I just go back to alarm 1, because this is what we're going to adjust, so what I'm going to do is keep my finger on the adjust button, and like the timekeeping mode which I just showed you before, you can adjust the time for, let's say, 7:30 in the morning, which I'm going to have here, and then if I press mode again and then fly along to what would be 7:30 in the morning. So there you go, 7:30, and then you just press the adjust button just to stop the adjustment, and there you go. This alarm, because it's now activated, is now set on a daily basis for what would be 7:30 in the morning. Now if you wanted to be a bit more granular, you can just obviously cycle through the adjustments, and as you can see, these little options here you can adjust by pressing the start button, and then you can be a bit more granular in your approach to the alarms that you want set. So let's just turn the adjust button off. Now if I want, as I said, if I want the snooze option to be featured on the alarm function 1, then I can do so just by pressing it again to see SNZ, and if I just want to turn it all off because I don't want the alarm to go off at 7:30 in the morning, just press it one more time. Now if I want the hourly signal on, I'll just go through to alarm 2, and again, as I've shown, you can just turn it on and turn it off like that. Same with alarm 3, turn it on, alarm 4, turn it on, alarm 1, alarm 2, 4, 5, and as you can see, all these indicators are lit up, and what will happen, you'll see that on every part of the watch, so you've got a good idea of what alarms you have activated on this watch. So if I just turn them all off, just because I don't want the watch going off 12 o'clock every day. I'm just quickly go through just to turn them off. For one, there. That's as easy as that. So if I want to activate what would be the hourly signal, again, as you've seen me do, I just quickly flick through what would be the daily alarms until I get to this part where it just says 00. I just press it on, and as you can see, there is a bell icon. Now what that means is that this watch will sound on the hour every hour until I turn it off, which I shall easily do by pressing that. And that is the daily alarm function, or how to adjust the daily alarm function in a nutshell. As I say, there is more alarm types built into this watch as well as daily alarm. You've got date alarm, 1 month alarm, and monthly alarm. But as I've mentioned, I have linked to the instructions of this watch in the description box below. Right then, the next mode to show you how to operate on this watch is the countdown timer mode on the CASIO AE-1500WH. Now, from the main timekeeping screen, you go past the alarm and then to the next mode after that, which is the countdown timer indicated by the TR at the top. You can start the countdown timer on any part of the time, whatever you've got set, etc., by just pressing the start button. Now this watch will count down from what will be 24 hours if the values are zeroed off, but obviously you can set these values yourself. So if I want to stop it and then clear it, I can easily do so. So all I did was just press start to start the countdown timer, and as you can see, the seconds are being indicated here within an increasing bars, and you can see it all counting down here. Now if I just press stop and then press the top left hand button to reset it, that's how you reset it, and it'll reset back to the time whatever you've chosen for the countdown timer alarm to count down from. So if I want to do that, I just press the adjust button here, and let's say if I want it to go off for what would be, I don't know, for a minute say, I can easily do that by just going along like you would do in timekeeping mode. So that will allow you to adjust the hours up to 24, and that will allow you to adjust the minutes up to obviously what would be 60. So I don't know, let's just say 5 minutes, and then press the adjust button, and then if I press start, so that will start counting down from what would be 5 minutes. Stop it, and then to reset you can easily do so. Now this watch also features what is known as auto repeat. Now what auto repeat means is that when the countdown timer has reached 0, and obviously the alarms, it starts beeping to indicate that the time that you've set has elapsed. What you can set up is what would be auto repeat, so it'll count down another 5 minutes until you've either A, stopped the countdown timer, or B, just turned off the auto repeat function. So I'm going to turn on the auto repeat function by pressing the adjust button. So you're in the adjustment phase, and then press the light button to the top left hand corner, and what you'll see is where it says auto repeat or ARPT. Again, if you want to turn it off, make sure that you are adjusting what would be the countdown timer, which is indicated by the flashing 0 or what would be the flashing 00s. And again, press the light button to turn it on, press the light button to turn it off if you so wish. And that's how you adjust what would be the countdown timer for it to go off, and in how to activate the auto repeat function built into the countdown timer. And it's as easy as that. Now if you are on the main timekeeping screen, or display, you just press mode once, twice, 3 times, and where you see ST, that is what would be the stopwatch mode that you're in. Now reading the display, you read it as such, where the top value is a 100th of a second, the bottom value is a second, that is the hours, and that is the minutes indicated on this watch as an elapsed time. Now this watch will do what would be elapsed time, it will do a split time, and it will do 2 finish times as well, which I'll show you how to do right now. So the first one is the elapsed time. So all you need to do is just press start, and as you can see, the 100th of a second are going away very nicely. You've got this indicator that the stopwatch is working just to the right, and then you've got seconds at the bottom, and obviously once you go up, you'll start seeing the minutes being added as well as the hours if you take it that far. Now to stop it, you press start again, and then you press adjust at the top just to reset it, and that's how to do an elapsed time. Now to do split times, what you do is press the start button, and as you can see, letting the stopwatch just measure the elapsed time, and then you press the adjust button. There you go, there's your split time there, and just press the adjust button to release it. And let's try it again. There's your split time again. As you can see, it's indicated by SP and the time that it's frozen at, and there you go, I've just released it again. But what you can see is as I'm doing it, the stopwatch is still measuring an elapsed time, which is indicated by the graphic indicator to the right and the time colon flashing within the center of the hour and the minutes here. So again, to just release it, as you can see, the time has just shot up because it is now, you've released the split time and it is measuring the elapsed time. So if I want to stop it and then reset it, and it's as easy done as that. Now, to do two finishes, the kind of example I tend to use is, say if you've got two runners within a race and you want to measure the finish time of one runner and you want to measure the finish time of what would be at the second runner. So to do that, you just start the stopwatch when both runners are running, and say for example the first runner gets through the finish line in a super quick time, then what you do, instead of pressing stop just to stop the stopwatch, you just press adjust. So that would be what would be the first runner's finish time. Now if the second runner is going through the finish time just after the first runner, and just as they're going through the finish time, you press stop on the stopwatch, or what would be the start button here, and then if you press the adjust button to release the split time, then that would be the second finish time. And that's how to measure the first and second finish times on this watch. Now the next mode I'm going to show you how to use will be, or how to operate, will be dual time. Now the dual time mode is very easy to access from the main timekeeping screen. You just press mode 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and as you can see, you got indicated by DT, which is dual time here. So what you can do, you can just, dual time gives you an idea what time, well, it's a simultaneous view of a separate time in a different part of the world. So for example, if I was, say, communicating with loved ones or business associates in a time zone that's a couple of hours away from me, so what I'll do is I want to set the watch up for that. So it'd be 12, so it'd be 2:43 in this instance. So if I want to set it up, you just press the adjust button, and then what you do is just press the start button there just to get you to the correct time in that zone. So I'm going to say 12:12. It is 2:44 p.m. and then I press the mode button to move it on, and then I want to just take it straight through to 44. So it's on the exact same time, just 2 hours ahead of me, and it's easily done. It's just like you would do with timekeeping just there. So just press the adjust button and that's it. So that's how you set the dual time on this watch. It's super easy. It is just like timekeeping or adjusting alarms and stuff like that. It's very easy to do. But again, as I say, you can just press the adjust button and that will allow you to adjust the hours. So if there are plenty of hours ahead or behind, you can just easily go through to what would be the earlier hours of the morning, just in case they are a couple of hours behind you. But again, as I say, it's very simple to set up and easy to do. And that's it with this watch. That's how you operate the CASIO AE-1500. And I hope this video is of some use to you. And if it is, then please give it a thumbs up. It always helps the channel. If you want to see any more videos from the We Try Anything channel, then click on the subscription button below. And thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.